Well, with us right now is Mayor Sherry Horn. They had their council meeting on Wednesday, and you are got a lot of stuff you're going to talk about here. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great. And the first thing, of course, you want to kind of comment on that happened a couple of weeks ago was the Senior Summit, right?
Right. The Senior Summit was wonderful. It was our 10th anniversary, and Supervisor Bartlett was there, and Senator Morlock, and Marilyn Diddy, and a representative from Tony Rackauckas' office, the DA's. And they were all talking about financial planning for the golden years. It was our 10th anniversary.
Right, that's right.
And it was packed, and it was wonderful, and I just really enjoy those, and we get a lot of really positive feedback.
Yeah, they do, and I'm sure it this time around with I realized that afterwards people could make appointments with some of the financial people, so it was really helpful to talk about scams and things like that. And
right.
So it was a great event.
It was, and this year you recorded it, so it's
Right.
going to be televised next month. That's so exciting.
Yes. Now, kind of along with that, Senior Rally Day. Tell me about this. This was up in Sacramento.
Senior Rally Day is very exciting. Every year, seniors from all over the state that can come by bus or by car to Senior Rally Day, and there's a big tent out on the Capitol lawn. There it is.
So this isn't just for representatives like yourself?
No,
this is for everyone.
It's
okay.
for everyone. Every single group that does anything
Okay.
with seniors, and there's so many, there's 120 groups. All these are different groups
Oh, I see. Okay.
that do things for seniors, and it can be very confusing.
Looks like the table of elements.
Exactly. They made it to
Doesn't
look
it?
like that. And we need a wraparound
really
group
does.
because each one gets a little siloed.
Yeah,
You know, and
yeah.
Adult Protective Services may not be talking to Meals on Wheels, may not be.
Exactly.
And so we're all advocating for money and for different things for our
Right.
issues. So there's a lot of people up there. And then we all walk the halls with anyone, for anyone that has legislation. We talk to our legislators and promote our favorite causes.
Yeah, but you made a very good point, though. There's so many different groups that are all looking for some funding and things like that. A lot of times, certain groups can kind of get lost, or a decision has to be made. What gets it? It's hard, right?
It's very hard, and it's really hard for the senior that's looking for information because each group
Exactly.
is so siloed. They'll say, "Well, call this one and call that one," and you can get lost among the thicket, mired in there, and get very frustrated and give up and simply not get the help that you need. And nobody wants that. So people are trying to get a wraparound kind of committee that would advise you how to access all these different groups.
Exactly.
With technology now, there's ways to do that.
Right.
So it was wonderful. That was exciting.
So, tell me about Daly Fork Wetlands. And now I don't know anything about that.
Dairy Fork Wetlands.
Or Dairy Fork.
Dairy
Fork.
Fork. Yeah.
We don't have a picture on that, but you sent me a note on that. But what is that?
Dairy Fork Wetlands is a place where polluted water from Laguna Hills, Aliso Viejo, Laguna Woods, and Lake Forest, a bunch of cities comes and it exits a pipe down there before it gets into Aliso Creek. This is right where Moulton and Alicia are. There's power lines there. And so there was an easement that SCE has, and they didn't want to let anyone build anything under the wires, but we had to build a road for them so that they would continue to have access. And this is to get all the dirty, polluted water and make a wetland. So it goes from one pond to the other. There's 2 ponds, and the idea is that sunlight will kill a lot of the bacteria. So it sits in one pond where it comes in and it filters through. There's a pipe under the ground, and in the other pond, and it gets cleaned out and eventually goes back into Aliso Creek, which then drains to the ocean. And they've put native plants all around there, and it's going to be part of a trail system.
Oh, very nice.
We've been working on that for 15 years. I think we broke ground last year, and now June 5th it'll finally be open. And it'll be part of, like I said, trails where you can bike and have and walk and rest and see. It'll look like 2 little lakes. It'll be very nice.
And again, it's at the corner of
Moulton and Alicia.
Okay, so it's actually in Laguna Hills. Am I
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of where, but we all contributed to this and worked together.
Right. Very nice. Very good. And of course, the Adult Day Center opened, they've been open for a while, I should say. Their grand opening
Their
happened.
grand
Yes.
opening is tonight with the big scissors and everything, and that's
Yes.
going to be very exciting. We're so happy to have them here.
Now, what's really exciting, this must have been a lot of fun. Tell us about going out to the San Andreas Fault. And you actually went out there with Lucy Jones. People probably know Lucy Jones. She has been, whenever there's some sort of a major earthquake in the area, she's probably been on the news, I want to say at least 20 years. On and off.
Right.
But she's a seismologist, very well respected, right, with the Department of Interior. Oh no, you also had Catherine Schaefer, a geologist with the Department of Interior. Lucy Jones is with the USGA survey.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And here you see her holding up a sensor that they plant in the ground, and that's a solar panel, and they have these sensors all over the place.
Right.
And this was Kate Scherer, and she's out. We were actually on the San Andreas Fault. There's really nothing to see there, but
Yeah.
it would move like 30 feet, and all of our utilities are out there. All of Edison's
Right, yeah.
utilities, all the windmills, everything. And so that's the concern, that when there's an earthquake, all those utilities will go down because they're all funneled right through
Whereabouts is this? What part
like
did you
near
see?
29 Palms.
Okay, all right. So you guys went out there for the day, or were you out there for a few
We were
days?
out there for the conference, for
Okay.
SCAG's conference in Palm Desert, and we took 2 buses, and we all went out. There was 104 degrees, and,
Wow.
and we had all these elected officials. But we were all in hiking boots and jeans. They told us to, be ready to walk around.
Yeah.
But it was so interesting. It was really,
Yeah, I bet it was.
really an amazing thing. And another thing that SCAG does is it's a little peek into the future. They have these great speakers about metadata, and they had these little autonomous vehicles that Carol Moore and I got to ride around in.
Yeah, and I'm
She's
going to
very
hold this up
excited.
because I don't have a digital photo on this. And this is something that you saw, I believe, kind of a demonstration of.
Right, we actually rode around in it. They were sitting out there, and during
we
the
go.
breaks in between classes, we could go out. And there's a little ramp at the bottom that you push
Cool.
a button and it comes out, and there's cameras all around, inside and outside. And when somebody walks in front of it, it stops, so it sees obstacles.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, you were telling me that they're testing these out in the villages.
Right.
And that, of course, is right outside of Orlando, that area, Winter Park, I believe,
Right.
in Florida. And I had asked you, one of the concerns you would have in an area like this, of course, Florida is flat.
Right.
Not here. And would these be able to go up some of the hills here or something? Did they talk to him about that?
We made a point to ask them, because we had asked Carol after she rode in it the first time, and they said that it would make it up the hills, no problem.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, and the new electric vehicles that security has, my husband drives, and he says that they make it up the hills just fine too. So this is made for 6 people. So they say that it would be no problem.
Very nice.
But it was flat in Palm Desert, as
Yes,
you
of
point out.
course, yeah.
But we went very slow. It was, I have to say, totally boring. Nothing exciting
Yeah,
happened.
but
It just
still.
went around in the circle, and it
But
was
still,
great. Yes.
yeah, no driver.
Right, no driver at all.
All right, now we're going to look at, we got some photos here from Donate Life. Tell us about this.
This is a wonderful event that Cynthia Connors and I usually attend every year. And there were about 12,000 people there. Last year, they got the Guinness World Record for the most donors and recipients in one place. And
Wow.
there's such moving stories. Like, there was a high school student that had died, an 18-year-old, and the person that got his heart and his liver was a baseball player. I can't remember his name right now. But each person, the parents of that student, felt very good to know that the heart, and
Yeah.
that part of your child continues on, or a mother
Yeah.
will come to hear the heart beating in the chest of somebody that had gotten the donation.
Where was this held at?
It's held in Costa Mesa at the Fullerton,
Okay.
and they release all these doves. And it's just wonderful.
That's really nice.
We have it every year,
Yeah.
and Cynthia and I go, and they have all these quilts made up that people make from Donate
If people
Life.
can find out information about this, is there a website called Donate Life or something like that? Or
Probably
I guess you
One
could
Legacy.
I'm sure you could probably find it very
Yes.
easily. Yeah, if you
Yes.
go ahead and Google it. And so really nice. And then this is something that Supervisor Bartlett and I guess Todd Spitzer did this as well. Am I right?
Right.
Under the flight plan presentation.
Yeah, people had been contacting me saying that they hear a lot of airplane noise, and where is it coming from? And I really didn't know because
Yeah, I don't didn't
hear
notice
it.
Yeah.
It's at night I take out my hearing aids. I don't hear any planes, so it's wonderful. But not everybody can do that, and they are right. If they're hearing airplane noise, they're right, because airplanes, they introduced a Metroplex next gen GPS
Right.
thing. So it's satellite based instead of land based. So they're able to tighten the routes for the incoming and the departing planes. And the problem is when they're going out over the ocean to take off, they're not going out far enough. They're making early turns to save fuel and time. Well, when they turn too early, they're not at altitude. They're like at 4,000 instead of 10,000 feet. And so you hear them. And Dana Rohrbacher was there, and he was concerned about the pollution that rains down too, because now you're narrowing it to one band of places. In fact, Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, and Culver City, and our Orange County supervisors are suing the FAA. So because we had an agreement when they didn't make the El Toro Air Base, we had an agreement with John Wayne Airport that the airplanes would go out a certain distance so as not to disturb the residents.
Right.
And both these sides are very business friendly, so it should be interesting to see how it works out.
Okay. It's interesting you say that because over Easter break, we flew out of Orange County Airport and we went east because we're going back to Virginia. And I noticed that as many times as I've flown out of that airport, I was thinking, a couple things, that they didn't seem to go up as high before they made the turn. Because usually you go up and then you feel that big leveling off.
Right.
And a lot of times the pilot will say something if people aren't used to it because it feels like the plane's losing power, which it's not, of course. And I remember this time thinking, wow, that didn't happen at all. It just took off and started to turn right away. And so I honestly did notice that. And I didn't know why, I just, okay.
Yeah, and there's actually
Interesting.
ways to track that. If you're on the John Wayne Airport site, there's something
Yes,
called
there is.
Volans.
Yes.
Or there's other systems
Yeah,
too, but
I've
they
seen
were
something
talking
like that, yeah.
Right, so that if you want to complain about it, you will have the tail number, the altitude, the
Yes.
direction, everything that you ever wanted to know about an airplane, and you kind of need that information when you call the FAA to make a complaint.
Right.
But they are going to put extra sound monitors for their lawsuit. They want everyone's comments. So if you
Right.
have comments, complaints, if you get the tail numbers and everything, call the supervisors or call the FAA so that you can register that, because they're counting all those emails and phone calls and letters as part of the lawsuit.
Okay, very good. Anything else you'd like to add for today?
Well, I'd like to talk about what we did at the council
Okay.
meeting. The CUP, the conditional use permit, was approved that GRF and Third and United wanted.
Oh, that's right, for the fence.
Right,
Yes.
and this is something that the city did not initiate, that the village wanted. They want to take down the barbed wire. And they can put anything back on that wall that they want, as long as it's not chain link or razor wire or barbed wire. They can use block wall, they can use shepherd hook, they could use, whatever they want to use is just fine. They only have to do 900 feet a year. I think they had applied for like 1,400 feet, but we reduced it so they don't have to do too much. And that's so that they can keep that CUP active for 24 years and never have to take out another
Oh,
one,
I see,
saving
okay.
them money. And that way they can decide which sections they want to do or not do, but it's completely up to the village, and we
Okay.
just wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. And we paid off our unfunded liability on CalPERS, because it would have cost a lot. Right now it was like $493,000, but by paying it off now, we're saving like $596,000.
Right, exactly.
It's like paying off your credit card. We have
Right.
the money in the bank, we'll use it to save money.
Right, exactly. And I see you brought some tickets
Yes,
there, right?
I brought for the Orange County Fair. They're starting their
Boy,
kickoff.
that's coming up, yeah.
Yeah, and so here's a book of
when
tickets.
is it this? Thank you. When is it this year, anyway?
It's starting
July 14th.
Right, it's starting, and people can go to ocfair.com, and it tells you all the days that there's special deals.
Okay.
And special senior deals. And this year, Laguna Woods Day is July 26th. Everybody can come out at noon. I think it's like $2 off for anybody from the village or from Laguna Woods City that comes. And there's a Breeze, an Octa bus, a Fair Express that they can catch at the transportation center for like $2.
Right, exactly.
So it's very cheap, and it's going to be they're going to have live jousting this year.
Are they really?
And a
Oh,
demolition
wow.
derby with motorhomes.
Yeah, I know the demolition derby. I've never seen the motorhome one. I've seen the other one, though, which is really entertaining.
Yeah, there's.
But the jousting, yeah, I didn't know about that.
Me either. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be great. And it's not that long away, July 14th to August 13th. So.
Right. So come out to the fair, enjoy, and they're having fried ravioli as the food of the.
Oh, that's the
year,
one this year.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. All the fried food is good. Very good. Lots to talk about. We
Yes.
appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much for letting me share all this stuff.
And thanks for dropping off the discount
Sure.
tickets. Hard to believe it's almost here. And of course, the festivals down the road are starting up
Right.
soon, not long.
Right.
Very good. Good to
Thank
see
you so
Thank you so
much.
much. We'll be right back.